everyone. Today I've got the Suicide Squad movie review. The wait is finally over. Does this latest DC movie deliver, or should it be forgotten? So as far as the story goes, James Gunn brings his A game to direct yet another comic book movie, only this time it's for DC instead of Marvel, and like Guardians of the Galaxy, this team-up movie has a group of unlikely villains who look like a bunch of misfits who are tasked at taking care of a potential threat that could cost them their lives. And, you know, as it says in the marketing, don't get too attached. Now, I'm not gonna spoil who kicks the bucket, but with a big lineup of characters, I mean, there are just so many different characters in this movie. It's like, it's hard not to try and love any of them and root for them in the end. And the casualties were insane, I'll tell you guys that. And it was just crazy to watch this all unfold because I honestly didn't know what was going to happen. I mean, that's what made this movie really fun to watch, because it was unpredictable at times, even though we could probably predict ahead of time, you know, what's going to happen to certain characters. But I think the big difference between this movie and the David Ayer Suicide Squad movie is that there was just something really exciting about this movie that I feel like the first Suicide Squad movie really missed its mark on. And, you know, from the start of this movie, it was just exhilarating to experience, and I hope to have a similar experience going to see it at the movie theater instead of watching it on HBO Max, which is what I did the first time watching it. I was with my fiance, and I mean, we just loved it. We probably enjoyed every bit of it because I think this is one of my most anticipated DC movies, so I had, you know, some high expectations with what was going on, but oh boy, it was so awesome. I'm still at a loss of words with what I saw, so I definitely loved the story this time around. I feel like there was just so much going on that it really kept me engrossed in watching the movie. So as far as the casting goes, while there were some returning actors from the previous Suicide Squad movie, like Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, I actually liked her in this movie still, and just seeing everything that, you know, she can pull off and what she, you know, had to go through in this movie. Jai Courtney is Captain Boomerang. Viola Davis is Amanda Waller. I feel like she really stepped it up this time around. We get to see her sort of like merciless, like ruthless, you know, mentality to her character. Joel Kinnaman as Rick Flag was also really nice to see as well. And there were actually some new additions to the group that I felt like really stood out to me. One of which, and it was always, I feel like, a top contender, was Sylvester Stallone as King Shark. I mean, he was just so awesome and like cute, but also very vicious. You've got Idris Elba as Bloodsport. When you wanted to see people see this movie and compare his character to Will Smith's Deadshot, I mean, literally, I feel like Idris Elba made me like his character because it was a mix of, you know, heart and, you know, having that motivation to do the job, but also be really badass in the process. David Dastmalchian as Polka Dot Man was also really surprising to see here. And even Daniela Melchior, who plays Ratcatcher 2, I just loved her so much. And I feel like all these characters were pretty much, the characters I mentioned were pretty much my favorites, and were definitely the heart of the movie. There were plenty of other characters in this movie too. So the things that I liked about this movie was that it was just wildly entertaining and action-packed. I mean, I knew going in that it was going to be these big, huge set pieces, this big spectacle. I was engrossed from the first act all the way through to the third act with the big bad of the movie, Starro, who was revealed in one of the trailers. It was just balls to the wall violent. I felt like this must have been one of the bloodiest and insanely gruesome comic book movies that I've seen probably since Watchmen. I mean, sometimes it was almost so shocking, I was just like, what? It was hilarious from start to finish, and I feel like John Cena's Peacemaker had some part in that as well, so it's no wonder that he's getting his own series on HBO Max. I mean, he just had me in stitches, so I was really happy to see what his character could pull off. The tone was perfectly balanced and took me on this roller coaster ride of emotions, you know, during certain scenes that I was just like, I didn't really know exactly how to feel. Like, either I was about to start, you know, like getting a little teary-eyed, or just like getting really like hyped up and excited. But man, it was just so awesome and just completely unexpected. But unfortunately, the thing that I didn't really like about this movie was that the pacing sometimes felt a little bit off. This is my only complaint from the movie, by the way. And I feel like the transition into certain scenes were just really abrupt, and sometimes they felt sort of out of place, but then it sort of like shifted back, and it really got on focus to what, you know, we all needed to see, and it just looked so cool. And I feel like James Gunn did such a good job with this movie, and I would love to see where he goes from here, whether a potential new DC movie in the future, I don't know, that'd be really cool. But either way, overall, I would say that this movie really exceeded my expectations. Definitely a step up from the 2016 Suicide Squad movie. So I was really glad that I got a chance to see it, and I can't wait to see it again, and I hope you guys do too. So I would highly recommend seeing this movie. It was just so awesome. DC fan or not, you should probably see this, even if it's a tad violent. But if it's your thing, this might be the movie for you. So I would give this 4.5 hearts on the heart rate scale. So let me know in the comments what you guys thought of The Suicide Squad. And as always, you guys can subscribe to my channel. I've got movie reviews, movie updates, come back every week for a Chill Thursday video. You guys can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. And I will see you guys later.